Hi, how you doing? Jimmy here. Moving on with this campervan conversion, my next job was going to be the solar system, fitting the solar panels and solar controller, but unfortunately the parts haven't arrived. So in this video I'm going to get on with something else. I think I'm going to fit the shower tray. I'm not going to have a conventional shower like most people that I see on YouTube. I'm going to have an occasional emergency shower. Now the design of the shower tray is such that it flexes in the middle when you stand on it because of a bit of a void in the center. So what you have to do, and a lot of other people on YouTube have done exactly the same, is you cut a piece of wood the same size and glue it to the underside, which prevents it from flexing when you stand on it. That's what I used. I used a toolbox, a gas bottle and a vise to keep it squashed together while gluing. Well, it seems to have quite a good hold. It doesn't need to be super strong because the weight is going to keep it in place anyway. This just keeps it secure for fitting. Well, as I said before, you're limited to where you can put the shower tray because of what's underneath the vehicle. So what I did, I put this piece of wood to there to be a pretend wall, and this isn't exactly square. You've got a long edge and a short edge and one with a flange on. Now I want the flange to go against that wall and I want the long edge to go front to back. So what I did was I put that onto there, and you've probably noticed I've temporarily refitted the fascia which goes next to the bed and the partition wall, just in case you overlook something. It's much better to spend a couple of minutes putting something in, then you know definitely that you won't encroach on anything. Then I held that onto there, put that against there, and I haven't definitely worked it out yet, but I think I'm going to have a wall up there. So there it is, mark it out, use a hole cutter and cut through. And if you use a hole cutter first and then try and make it as tight a fit as you can with the drain, because the water will be splashing up from the road. So I finished it off with a file and it fits through there nicely. And don't forget to try and stick a hoover in the hole around here and get the iron filings out, and paint the exposed floor edge where you've cut the hole, because as I say, the water will be splashing up from the road and it will corrode your floor. I'm going to put some sealer around as well. I'm just going to make a simple timber frame now to support the shower tray. I'm going to use thick wood like this for the two short edges and slightly thinner timber for the front and back, because those flanges aren't as wide as these ones. Well, I've knocked up a simple frame to act as a stud wall, because the walls of the van are lumps and bumps and very hard to attach a flat board to. So I'm going to use this as a stud wall. But the reason I'm going to show you this before I put it into the van is it's easier. So what I've done is I've cut a recess out of both sides. I'll give you a close-up on it in a minute. And the reason I've done that is when you put the shower tray in and attach it to this button and there, when you put the wall board on, you will now be able to put the wall board right down to the shower tray. and this will help to, well, should prevent any water getting behind. Put that in there. Obviously you would put sealer over it at the time as well. Then put your wallboard on and seal that as well. There's very little chance of the water getting behind there. Well, a few days have passed since the last bit of filming. I haven't been at the garage for about a week. So I'll just go in the van and show you what I've been doing. I've made a little frame for the shower tray to fit into. And I've put the stud walling up behind the shower. And then I thought, because the stud wall under the window has got to be parallel with the shower tray, so I thought I'd better do that as well. So I've had to do that as well. So that's the stage we're up to now. I'll come in from the other side because it's probably better. The little piece of wood there obviously isn't going to be part of the wall. It's just there to size everything up. I'll take it out and show you on the workbench. It's probably going to be easier. That's the shower tray frame with the shower tray off. Just before I take it off and show you it on the workbench. Well, that's how it fits, and it'll be attached to the back, and it'll have some pocket joints drilled on the inside edge into the floor. It's just a simple framework for the shower tray to sit into. It will also be the anchorage points for the wall, the bottom part of the wall. So I've just made it simple frame. Just for the size of the flanges, we had to make the outside two wider than the long edges. What I've done is I've made it with pocket joints, pocket hole joints, because they're meant to be the strongest joints, and with this being a support for the shower, I thought I would do that. If you notice, I've left, I'm not sure if you can, there you can see, I've left a little bit proud, and that is the outside long edge. And the reason I've done that is to try and tilt the back of the shower tray up a little bit so that the water runs towards the plug. I'm not sure how effective that'll be, because it'll depend on whether you're parked on flat ground, and if you're off grid, which is what I think I'll be doing most of, you can't guarantee to have a flat parking area. So I don't know how important that's going to turn out to be. Well, I was just thinking, before I fit the shower tray frame into the floor, I need to make another one exactly the same size to screw to the ceiling. So that's what I've done now. This one is exactly the same size as that, not as wide, but the dimensions are the same. And a little tip, and I've never tried this before, and I've never seen anybody else do it, but when I put the first screws in, Although it was okay, it was sturdy, but you could get it and you could bend it a bit, you could push the corners. I've just put some squares in, only with one screw either side. And wow, it's really sturdy now. Little tip. Probably everybody knows that, but I didn't. Anyway, I'm pretty chuffed with that. So that's going to screw to the ceiling. You're probably wondering why. I don't know where to start to explain what I'm going to try and do. So you'll have to stay tuned to see if it works and to see what it is. But I've now put the pocket joints into here. Make them out. So they're going to be on the inside, and I'm ready to attach that to the floor now. So I don't know if I'll do it today. I'm hungry. I might go home for my dinner. Anyway, that's the next thing to do. Well, a few more days have passed since I've done any filming, and to be honest, the filming is getting a bit complicated. I can't remember what I've filmed and what I haven't filmed. I should explain, I don't live near the garage, so I'm not at the garage every day. So I think the best thing to do is to recap on what I've done. Well, we've had quite a few things that didn't exactly go to plan, but that's normal for a camper van build, I think. If you ask anybody who's doing a camper van, your plans don't always go the way you want them. So the wall for behind the shower, we've had to make a step out because it's easier to show you on this side. I don't know if you can see, there's a big bump there. Well, there is one on this side as well, and if we had just done that in one piece, it wouldn't have been anywhere near vertical. So we've had to come up vertical here and then space it out to get around the bump in the wall. We've also spaced out on the sides to get the frame vertical, and the wall under the window is the same. We've had to do that, but it's all worked out quite well. It's all very solid and quite vertical. You probably already know spirit level is no good for a van, because who's to say the van is level, so you don't do that. But that was it. The frame for the roof that I said for the ceiling is in, but that didn't go quite to plan either, because if you made it exactly the same size as the bottom one, it wouldn't fit because of these bumps in here. So we've had to cut it a bit shorter. We've had to cut the ends off, bring that in a bit. I've put that there for just a strengthening piece. And what I did to get the position, because there's going to be a wall goes up between here, to get that is, I put a plank of wood with a spirit level, anchored it onto the bottom, got it level, and then marked the ceiling. So the base frame is secured to the floor now, very secure. Pocket hole screws on the inside, and the shower tray fits into it. But when you come to fit it permanently, you want some sealer along here, sealer along the flanges, and pop it in. The back wall then goes in, and I made this a very tight fit. That goes in, and then there's no chance the water's going to get behind that flange, and you run some sealer along here anyway. And there's going to be a wall goes up this side, and the wall under the window goes there as well. Well, it's starting to take shape now, and it all looks quite good. And there's going to be a wall between the bedroom and the shower. Well, that's another one done. I'm not going to fit it in permanently in this video because the insulation, vapor barrier, partition wall have all still got to be done. So this video was only supposed to be about the shower tray anyway. That's all for the next video, which should be coming soon. So you take care, and thanks for watching.